Good afternoon, my beautiful nerd nation. Tsusasi here, and can we just take a minute to talk about the Nintendo Switch Lite?
No.
Sorry. Let's get this out of the way up front. This isn't a Switch. Not really. And that's an important distinction to make. Before you at me, let me explain. And that explanation begins with a bit of history. With Nintendo's last generation system, the Wii U, they really borked the marketing. The messaging wasn't just unclear, it was non-existent. And as a result, the system never got off the ground. One of the key features of its failure that is pointed to is the name, Wii U. A name that meant nothing, described nothing, and led many to believe that it was an add-on for the Wii. Worse still, it did nothing to define its core feature, the gamepad. With the Switch, the messaging was immediately clear. Even the hipster-heavy lifestyle ads spelled it out plainly. This is the first hybrid system. You play it on your TV and you take it on the go. You can remove the controllers and share them for multiplayer and tabletop mode. This was groundbreaking in unknown territory, and yet the marketing made sure everyone got it. And it was unwavering. We also learned about the IR camera and HD rumble. The Switch was very clearly defined and married to the signature click that was even baked into the user experience. And now, well, that's all gone. This is no longer a hybrid system, and therefore no longer a Switch. Maybe a new 2DS XXXL? A mouthful, but to my mind, more accurate. Bottom line, they've just muddied the marketing waters. With the initial marketing's laser focus on the Switch's core hybrid features, there's bound to be some confusion in the casual, non-gamer consumer market, and maybe some incorrect gifting in this coming holiday season. But that's the intangible corporate side effect. Now, let's break down what we actually lose with the Switch Lite. First, it's not dockable. We will never play any game on the Lite at 1080p 60 frames per second. We will never play on a TV, even though all available information points to the system being 100% capable of doing so. Nintendo just decided we don't get to use that baked-in capability anymore, because they need a new pillar, something to replace the 3DS. Nintendo, by design, has eliminated access to the system's full potential and is essentially giving us $100 of hush money discount. And if we are to believe Nintendo, the dock and cables alone represent an $80 value. So what else are we losing for that remaining $20? Well, let's take a look. The Joy-Cons aren't Joy-Cons. They don't detach, and yes, that's huge for a number of reasons. First, it was one of the very prominent front and center features in the ad campaign and really leveraged the Switch as the best portable experience ever. It was couch multiplayer anywhere. If it was just you and a friend, you could take your Switch, a copy of Mario Kart, break off the cons, and there it was, built-in multiplayer. That's gone now. Tabletop mode isn't even a thing anymore. It says so right on Nintendo's breakout of features. You also lose the IR camera and HD rumble. Now, some people may not miss these features, but the larger impact is that there will be incompatible games, and it's not always going to be obvious which ones. 1-2 Switch is an easy one. ARMS as well with its motion controls, and pretty much the entire Labo lineup is no-go. And that's a shame, because Labo VR was kind of cool. And trust me, there will be plenty more. Hold up. We're not done with the Joy-Con controllers yet. There's also the matter of drift, and the fact that if your Lite experiences drift or any of the other Joy-Con issues, you don't get to just send away your controllers. You have to say goodbye to your whole system and all of the games on it until repairs are done and it's shipped back to you. Since you can't disconnect the controllers, you have to purchase actual Joy-Cons in order to play multiplayer in tabletop mode, which doesn't exist according to Nintendo's website. And have to have a way of charging them, so there's another $30 or $40 purchase for a charging grip or a standalone charger. Speaking of multiplayer, the Lite also doesn't have a kickstand, but I'm sure Nintendo will have a Lite branded accessory for that. The Lite screen is also smaller, down from 6.2 inches for the original Switch to 5.5 inches. And unlike the Switch, it no longer has a sensor to detect and adjust for light levels, which is curious for a portable meant to be played in a multitude of lighting conditions. For having a smaller screen and optimized processor, one would expect some decent gains in battery life. But it's negligible. It's about a half an hour. Compare that to the Switch refresh just hitting the stores. The newest model boasts around 2.5 hours of extra battery life. So what's the upside? Well, it's $200. There's a D-pad, and it's smaller if that was something you were looking for. Honestly, that's pretty much it. Is there a market for the Switch Lite? Absolutely. Everyone from early adopters to families with kids, gamers on a budget, system collectors. But for the average gamer, I really believe that bang for the buck, we are losing far too much for that $100 of savings. A Switch Lite with a set of Joy-Cons, a Joy-Con charging solution, and some sort of stand will set us back around $300 or more. And we still can't dock it. We have the smaller screen, and we have to jump through hoops just to get to where we would be if we had picked up an actual Switch instead. And with the newest revision of the Switch, we get a bump of 2.5 extra hours of battery life. For me, it's a hard no, but I'd love to know what you all think. Are you planning on buying a Switch Lite? Do you think it's a good value? Do you play more docked or on the go? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue to be part of this conversation and others, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, peace, love, and Nintendo!